So we accounted for another scene. That's not where you cry, Kay. Okay, don't cry there. Okay. I forgot emergency room. So there's a line where you might end up in the emergency room. And I was just like, welcome to Case Drama. It's me, Karylle, and I'm not alone. Yes, let's hear the applause. The team is back. We got Sonder, Miguel, and Bianx. This is like part of the team, so this is not just me holding the camera, freaking out if the SD card is there, because there have been days in Singapore when I go out, I'm gonna shoot. No SD card. But I charged everything. I'm so diligent. Charging, check. No SD card. Has that ever happened to you? But of course, we are filled with gratitude because Spotify's Wrapped thingy happened. And this year, podcasts are included. And the Good Times radio show did win. But Case Drama is also part of Top PH New Podcast. Thank you, guys. What is this? When we started the podcast, we started showing it January of 2024. No expectations, no major plan because we wanted to see what it could become, not bound by ratings. What is trending? What is catch bait? What is it? Catch bait? Clickbait. Catch bait. So no clickbait. And we just wanted to see what it could become in its natural form. Maybe we could do some more like tightening, but I'm just happy with what we've achieved. Thank you guys. And thank you for validating our existence by sharing our posts, making it trend on X. And just basically, oh my God, the best talaga was when I was in the immigration line, and you're not supposed to be noisy. So the guy behind me was going to Singapore to visit his wife who works in Taka. That's Takashimaya. Local speak. Sabi niya, I've been, he's a photographer, like a wedding photographer. So I've been to Emerald Hill, but I didn't know that you could walk all the way through. So I guess that's what it's been about, those accidental walking podcasts that Migs and I did after my dad passed away. We are walking the whole way together, and we are discovering what we didn't see the first time we were in that certain spot. And that's been one of the themes for my December 2024. But in general, for the whole year, I think it's been healing the inner child. We started off with the first episode with Isa Calzado. Congratulations on Tiny Beautiful Things, Isa. Your first talking play. She did another play before Sabel, but this one talaga, she really was the lead. And one of the topics we had when we did episode 1 of Case Drama was about beauty and my curly hair. Like we mentioned, okay, it's not curly today, but it's curly hair. Yeah, part of healing the inner child is just seeing myself wear my hair curly and having people accept that. And me wearing my giant big ribbon, which is also in another podcast episode. Because the things that make you happy make you feel beautiful and glowing inside and outside. My healing journey has been so long and I've been so open about it. I have a song called Under the Lights where I have a line where I say, I've been doing all this healing, so bakit parang paulit-ulit lang yung problems? And I think some people's healing journeys could be frustrating because you think it's over, but it just repeats and repeats. So I think for myself, just being on the journey, being on the path for a long time is okay because we try and we try and we try and we just keep on going. And yeah, we find people along the way to help us feel like, we're doing the right thing. Like that episode with Isa, I felt so happy also seeing your feedback about the curly hair. Because it's not easy to be in the Philippines with curly hair because there are sayings that are gone. Kulot ay salot. Gone. And little things like that. Now people want their hair curly. There's the curly girl method. And just products talaga to help us with our curly hair. So yeah, I love that. We talk about things like that on case drama na parang when I think about it, is that too trivial to share? But apparently people have the same sentiments and stuff. So it's been nice hearing your feedback, etc. So thank you so much for sharing all your thoughts as well. Another thing, siguro, with healing the inner child, on the radio, sa Good Times, I do talk about throwback stuff a lot. And this is not very common with me because I would always say, my parents kasi separated when I was 6. And I think I used to say I hate 80s music so much because that was a traumatic period of my life. So now that I'm always looking back at my past fondly, which I feel was pretty much an area in my brain that I blocked together with all the trauma of, having separated parents and of course being in the middle of like an 80s showbiz scandal. Parang I'm so happy na I can look back and see all the happy memories, not just from photos, but a lot of it is just coming back. And I think it's because that area of my life is no longer blocked by sadness and whatever negative things that were there before. So parang all these memories are rushing back. So I'm happy about that. And of course, one very happy part of my childhood would be Little Shop of Horrors, feed me. So when in the 80s, children, we had a really cute tradition. So I grew up with my dad. We lived on Annapolis Street in Green Hills. Don't think it's social because it was across a canal. Okay, it rhymes, but I love it. So there was a canal there. All the cool kids would bring their cars that set up, and the back seats were speakers. Speakers now are this big, but back then, those were the cool speakers, and they would hang out there every Friday night. Okay, so from our condo, I could walk to my school, which is OB Montessori, but a few steps before my school, every Friday night, my dad and I would borrow 2 laser discs, 3 if it's like a special weekend, but it was usually 1 new one and 1 comedy or 1 musical. And my favorite musical to borrow, of course, Little Shop of Horrors. My dad was a bit of a pirate. Hi. Not with a parrot, because he would. Sorry, guys, but we had no way to create a playlist, and it wasn't on Spotify before or anything. So he would record from the laser disc to the tape, side A, side B. And I loved Little Shop so much that I would sing it from side A to side B, like the whole score. So if you're wondering why it was so catchy for kids, it's because the team behind Little Shop of Horrors also made Little Mermaid. Yes, part of your world does sound like Somewhere That's Green. And Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. So there you go. That's why it's catchy for kids. Although it's a more dark subject, yung Little Shop. But I was so surprised kids like it even to this day. Like, it's such a cool thing to like. I mean, it was always just my secret, but I didn't know that other people actually liked Little Shop as much as I did. So I finally found my cool thing that I liked. Nah, I thought it was just mine when I was a kid. So this was Rick Moranis, Ellen Green, and Steve Martin. Rick Moranis was very famous because he had also other stuff for kids like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. So yeah, we would borrow this laser disc, and movie night was always special and fun. My dad particularly loved this show because of the dentist, played by Steve Martin. Only Murders in the Building. He's also a podcaster there. So it was always special to us because of that. Like, he would sing, I Am Your Dentist. That was his life theme song. Although the medyo crazy young dentist na yan. So when my dad passed away, we were about to end Little Shop, but we had one extension show. And looking back, I was just so grateful that he watched so many times because he was maximum happy. So you know how you try to see the best parts of the dangerously scary and sad memories? That for me parang shifted my feelings about his passing, because I could say thank you so na kunwari, Toph and to everyone from Sandbox because thank you for doing this because my dad was maximum happy when he passed away. So because we were also reliving my childhood happy place, parang, he was there 4 times and everything. He would hang out backstage. Like, ang galing naman. What a nice gift that was parang part of our last memories. I mean, sometimes kasi if you get fixated on something you didn't do, like I didn't say goodbye or I didn't hug him enough when I last said goodbye, parang you'll get stuck there. So I just found the happiest part of parang that last chapter before he passed away. So that's why I'm so grateful. And then now that we are receiving all these nominations, these nods, from Gawad Buhay, thank you so much. From Aliw Awards, thank you so much. Not just for myself, but also for the rest of the cast and the production staff of Little Shop. I'm so, so grateful because it was so special, not just to me, but also to the other people who made it or who collaborated to make it. I think super for Toph de Venecia, the director, and also for EJ Yatko, who is the musical director, another Little Shop nerd. It was so cute coming together to create this thing and be nominated and, hear so much of your great feedback for it. So thank you. Feed me, feeding us like all this like praise and recognition. I mean, I know we're not supposed to live life by awards, but it really, really feels good to be nominated. It feels good to celebrate it. And because of the nominations that came last month and early this month, I've been so sepangs because when my dad passed away, of course, it was grief over sepangs, right? Like I can't focus on, okay, the show ended. But I think the reason why I wanted to do this episode in particular is because I wasn't able to thank everyone who was there. So just to give you a background of what happened. So my dad passed away. Like he must have had a heart attack. They couldn't say for sure because you would need an autopsy to really know. So of course we don't want that. And after he passed away, I had to do one last show. I already messaged everyone that we were going to go to the emergency room thinking that I would miss the last show. So I was preparing them for that. But because he passed away, it felt like I had to do the final show, the closing show, which is in theater, like the most important moment. And you know that if you are a theater kid, you have to do that whole cliche that the show must go on. And because it was so special to my dad, I knew he could watch from any seat in the house. That's what I was thinking. So when we got the schedule for the wake, crazy enough, on the day of the show, there was no venue. So we would have to take my dad's ashes home. So another clear sign that, yes, Kay, you can do the show because the remains would be at home. So, oh my gosh, can you imagine just how difficult it was to go to the theater that day? Ugh. I won't try to relive it in my head so much, but the ADs and the whole team, there are a bunch of students who are part of the AD team, the assistant director, that whole I don't know how many they were, but they made me like a cute sign that we're here for you, and they all signed it. And they know that I love cards. So if you're thinking of what to give me, cards and signs and paper would be enough. I keep those like together in like a little box or whatever. And it meant the world to me to see that they like did it in beautiful handwriting and they stuck it in my mirror, which is filled with like all these letters and cute gifts from the rest of the cast. So, okay, so it's the day of the show. It's day 3, maybe, of the wake of my dad. So I'm not okay, right? So I'm there. Everyone's like trying to make sure that, are you okay? Are you okay? But they're not really saying anything because in theater, you're like always just like one snap away from a breakdown. So my director, Toph de Venecia, who I'm very close to, he says to me, let's watch out for key phrases that could set you off into tears. So one such phrase or line would be in Somewhere That's Green, where I talk about father. But so the word father comes up. Sabi ko, oh, no problem. I don't think of my dad. I really think of Seymour. So I assign, in somewhere that's green, I assign everyone. So there's one that's my Lola, like the laundry, because we do laundry in Las Vegas together. So that's assigned for her. And then usually I'll assign another line for a special guest who's watching. So there are images in my head because I'm not, it's all about material things. And I think it was EJ Yatko who figured out, Kay, you don't like things. So assign it to a memory and assign it to a person you really, really love. So that I could see that spark in your eyes. Because you don't like material things. If I say television, it's not like you want to buy a new TV and it will make your eyes sparkle. I need to feel that from you in every line. This is how much he loves this song and this show. So, okay, I'm okay. Father is not my dad. I won't cry. Okay. Is there another part? Because you always cry in somewhere that's green. No. We're fine. That's assigned to people and I won't break down there. So we accounted for another scene. That's not where you cry, Kay. Okay, don't cry there. Okay. I forgot emergency room. So there is a line that where you might end up in the emergency room. And I was just like, I did not prepare for this line. So I was just like almost gonna cry because hearing the words emergency room took me to the emergency room where I saw my dad. And it was just like, no, you can't break down. Not now. This is the part that is made light. Although, of course, it's one of the drawbacks of a script that was done in a period when beating up a partner, a domestic partner, or domestic violence could be made into a joke. So, but hearing the words emergency room, I go, I did not prepare for this line. So it was okay naman. I was able to get through that. But going back, just as a side note, the domestic violence issue, it's really hard because sometimes old text was written a certain way. It was a different time. And now that when we recreate it for stage, present day, we're very, very delicate with it because these are not jokes, even if there are certain lines that seem to make the situation light. And it's very tricky because you want to make sure that people know that this is not a good thing. Carousel was very, very difficult, for example, because there are certain lines that are very, very dated, like about, did it hurt when you got hit? Yeah, parang no, it didn't hurt, and it was a really bad line, but we made it in such a way that it was postmodern, and we could look into the audience eyes and just ask them, "You decide for yourself now, because we are not gonna say that this is right, and this is not what we want you to go home with." So being postmodern, that one at least we could discuss in that way. But yeah, going back to the play, I just wanted to thank the staff, especially the students who were there, because I had a Care Bear. So that's when I'm sure you did see me with a pink Care Bear. And I would put it like here in my heart because it was so heavy and so painful. So that was my little trick. I would put it there. And then I would tell the staff, you can't hug me because if you hug me, I will cry. And the show is over. I won't be able to sing or perform. But please, if you see the Care Bear here, hold my hand because that means I need you. And when the first time I exited the stage, syempre you're relieved you were able to do the first part. They wore the Care Bears like by their ID here. And it was just like, they would look at me like, is it time for the hold? Because we're ready. And their hands were so small because they're still students. So it was just so precious to me. So thank you to everyone. Oh, backstage. It was so special because every time I would exit, they would catch me. And it's so nice to be asking for help. You know what I mean? Like, oh, how special is that you ask for help and they give it to you. But they also know that your boundaries are, I cannot do too much of the emotional stuff, but you'll be exactly there for me. And they were. So thank you for understanding what I needed exactly at that moment. So that Care Bear is so precious to me. But I'm also wondering like how stressed it is. Maybe it needs a bath. Kawawa naman. It took all my sadness. So somebody was explaining that to me. Yeah, usually it's correct because you're putting it where it hurts, and that actually a cute fluffy thing. So I do understand the labubu trend. But yeah, with that said, I do not own any, but I have my own dolls that I've had for so long. A lot of them now I bring my the theater ones that we've been displaying in case drama because I it's me but a crochet version. So yeah. So yeah, I think also Care Bears is also in theme with healing the inner child because Care Bear stare, that was a line we used to use as kids when you wanted to make powers from love. I mean, diba? How forward thinking of the Care Bears creators. And Care Bears are making a comeback in a big way. I have a friend, she's got like Care Bear tattoos, and I got her like fork and spoon na Care Bears, ang dami, which I think I kept for myself. Sorry, Shine. So I think it's nice that we recognize even little things. I did read that during the pandemic, sales of stuffed animals for adults went up because people just wanted to play with their toys or buy toys that made them feel cute and happy. The ribbon, I guess, is also that. Kind of that. Buying things that you used to own when you were a kid. Knee socks for me because, I saw a friend the other day. She's like, "Oh, so you're wearing the young people socks because it's high." I was like, "No, when I was a kid, I used to wear knee socks in OB, so it's not that hard." I mean, even me wearing long skirts, this is my poveda uniform. So alam mo yan, parang everything pala goes back to, the things that you were comfortable with. This exactly would be a jacket that I had in high school. This attire is a very me in high school outfit. So I think once that inner child is healed, then you kind of see her or him present in your daily life. And it's nice to just have them healed. And I'm just glad that even though it was a long, frustrating journey, I did it. And there are several people who are starting to get open about healing. I have a cousin who was like, "Oh, you went to, yeah, a healing session." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that was my Christmas gift for him." Or no, he's not done with it. He did part one. He's preparing for his 2025. It's going to be a great year for you. I got Yael to go to one. I was just like, oh yeah. We did tackle some childhood things or even young Yael things. Yeah, so it's really good to dig deep and make sure that everything is okay back there or wherever that child is. And I think my laugh lately, I was like, why am I laughing so much? Of course, I'm also around comedians a lot. There's Vice Ganda, there's Alex Calleja. So I do laugh a lot. And parang, I feel like sometimes I hear a young person. Even when I was singing earlier, there were some lines in the songs I'm like, oh my gosh, I sound so young. And you know how when you're young, you try to sound like sultry and adult, and then you're old, and like when you hear like your giggly child self, it's just like I'm so happy. And it takes a while to get there because it could get scary if you get trapped also in your past. We don't want to be trapped there naman din, diba? So sorry, Yael, I'm gonna share like a little bit about your healing session. So in Yael's healing session, he has a happy memory where he's stuck. Like there are some remnants of him supposedly stuck in that happy memory. And some people get stuck in traumatic events. He got stuck in a happy memory. So that prevents him from being completely happy in the present because part of him, fragments of him are there. How trippy is that? So I never heard of that. And that hardly happens though. Which begs the question, aren't we supposed to relive happy memories? I guess, yeah, you replay them in your minds, but it's not like you're living in the past. So it's more like when you look back, oh, it's happy. I mean, or at least you nangingibabaw yung happy. Kumbaga sa playlist mo, yung top one song mo was a happy tune. Sure, there are sad parts there, but it's just like, yeah, it happened. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's been my journey. I just also wanted to share and thank everyone who's helped me in my healing journey through the years. It's a lot, ha? So Bethesda, Springs of Hope is one. Tita Maria B. Mapa Garcia, who introduced me to the concept of forgiveness, healing of the family tree. There's also the Healing House. So thank you so much to Tin and to Toph, who introduced me to that, just because it's been a journey. Father Ted Gonzalez of CEFAM, which is Center for Family in Ateneo. A lot of these places are available to you for free, or you could just give donations. So yeah, do check them out. What else? I think that's it for the healing journey. And I can't believe that loving a show in your childhood could get you some award nominations later on. And I think that's just one of the gifts that come out of, your passion. And it's nice to have clues about what you love, because you loved it so much for I don't know what reason when you were a kid, when you didn't really have all those biases and you just liked what you like. So I'm grateful that I got to live near a Laserdisc rental place. I don't know where you live near, like an ACA Home Video or wherever. But now, so much. So you guys are very lucky nowadays, because we all get to just watch everything from everywhere, even live theater clips from the West End or wherever. So all these things are available to you now. So do find out what you really, really like, because no one can say no one brought you to the Laserdisc store. That is no longer an excuse. So thank you again to all the listeners for making me feel comfortable about talking about my inner child journey, the healing of it, the enjoying it, the just like playing with her, because it has made 2024 super unexpectedly memorable. The good and the bad that happened this year, that's a lot. The bad part was not exactly bad. Like, I also wanted to share that about grief, it's not about moving on. It's just finding like ways to live with it. It's always, I'm watching the show Grieving. It's the worst, but the best. Like the worst cries that I've had. And I accidentally made Yael watch it by himself, and he did a marathon of it. Don't marathon it. It does help with the grieving process a lot, because it's comedy in the sense that there are comedians there, but it's devastatingly like sad, because there are deaths that are talked about. And if you're going through your grieving process, I think you could check that out. But watch it with a friend, and don't watch it marathon. One episode like a day lang. Ako ngayon, I've been able to catch up. So I watch it as it drops every Wednesday, I think, on Apple TV. So yeah, it's not about moving on, but just also finding ways, like writing that song Empty and singing it earlier with my band really helped me today, because my band's known my dad for so long also. And yeah, that's the hard part of this year, but you guys have also helped me get through that, because I know that someone out there is listening. And basically, you've been so kind to me. I don't know if people in Singapore are extra kind to me because they know I've gone through so much this year, or they're just kind to me because I'm so cute. No kidding. Hi to everyone in Singapore who I've come across, especially the ones who say hi. I do see some people think na baka they can't say hi. Sometimes I also look and I'm not sure, are you Filipino? Should I smile? Should I say hi? Thanks to everyone who gave me food or coffee, or JP who gave us like free tickets to Universal Studios. Thank you so much. Or we also got free tickets to the National Museum. Oh gosh, I feel like a princess. Though I am a tatlong Harry. So thank you. These are the gifts of 2024. I don't even know how to thank everyone. Thank you for walking with me this 2024. This is Karylle for Case Drama.